Let's go, everybody. Welcome back. Listen, this is the last show of the weekend or the week. No, it's the first show of the weekend. We're ready to go. Welcome to the Live Before Lock show. This is what we're going to be doing today. We're going to be diving into the NBA schedule for the weekend. We're going to be looking at the injury news. We're going to be checking out some of the value plays, trying to build a Sorare lineup that doesn't suck. Because what I did this week was provide Suckfest lineup. So I'm excited to get some new lineups. Eric Everett in the chat is saying just got a Momentum Labs today. Super pumped. Love to see that. We're actually going to be using Momentum Labs subscriptions today. So we're going to be checking. We're going to be using their projections. So there's a link in the show notes. I also put it in the chat. If you haven't signed up for that, go do yourself a favor and sign up. There he is right there, the man, the myth, the legend. This is the other thing. I'm going to put this out right now. We're going to be giving away, I think, a Paul Reed, a limited card, which you're like, dude, what are you doing? Give me a Paul Reed. But here's the thing. Embiid plays 1 out of every 4 games. So it's probably a good play. So in order to qualify for this limited card giveaway, do me a favor, like the stream, subscribe to Team Hold, and put hashtag Momentum Labs into the chat. We'll spin this thing towards the end. But let's get into it right now. I think the first thing we should do, let's look at the schedule, and then we'll do the injury news, and then we'll go over to some of the projections as well. And then I want to hear from some of y'all, too, to see like what your rewards were today. Mine were garbage. Mine were Caleb Martin and Juan Toscano Anderson, both players that I enjoy, but not to roster. You know what I mean? So let's go over here. Let's check the schedule. We're on the ESPN site because the NBA site is dick. Speaking of swearing, you should check out this morning's show. If this is your first time here, John Nellis, who of Sorare content fame, was on the show, and we had a fun time talking all things Sorare. But here we go. We get a big old slate tonight with Cleveland, Detroit, Miami, Indiana, New York, Philly, Brooklyn, Washington. Brooklyn, you know, Kyrie probably not playing. So maybe there's some weird value that pops there. We get Chicago, Boston, Charlotte, Memphis, LA, San Antonio, Toronto, Dallas. We've got Golden State, New Orleans, and the JV team is playing for Golden State. Wiggins is out. Draymond is out. Clay is out. Steph is out. Your boy is starting for the Warriors tonight because they need me. We got Milwaukee, Minnesota. We've got Portland, Phoenix. Portland announced Simons is out. Dame is also out. So they are like in 80% of their usage is out of the game tonight. So that's something to pay attention to. And then we've got LA, Utah, which like weirdly is an exciting game. Tomorrow we've got Sacktown in Orlando, Brooklyn and Charlotte, New Orleans and Atlanta, Boston and New York, Oklahoma City and Milwaukee. I should be going to this game, by the way. That's in my hometown. Oklahoma City and Milwaukee, Houston and Minnie, San Antonio and Denver, Portland and Phoenix. And then Sunday, we only got 4 games Sunday because everybody and their fucking mother plays on Monday. So you can go vote on Tuesday if you're in the United States of America. Sunday, we've got Cleveland and LA, Chicago and Toronto, Washington and Memphis, Utah and LA. All right. Let's dive into some of the injury news. Also, hey, listen, we have, Dominic, we got a new member. Let's go, Dominic. Welcome aboard, my man. I should say, too, if you're here, if you've survived the first 3.5 minutes and you haven't signed up for Sorare yet, you can see the pinned chat or you can find the link in the show notes. You can sign up right now for Sorare. What happens if you sign up using our Team Hold code? You get 20 free common moments and you can play for fucking free. You don't have to spend $1 if you don't want to. I'm not going to shill on you, but if you do decide to spend some money, if you buy 5 limited cards, the 6th one you get is free, which is pretty cool. So go ahead and sign up. Bottervine says, my man won tickets to FC Barcelona through La Liga, but we can't get there on time from the Netherlands. Damn. All right, let's dive into some of the injury news because as I alluded to, holy shit, the entire Warriors team is sitting. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm using Underdog NBA. That's the site I use for late breaking news. Speaking of Underdog, if you sign up, use promo code HOLD. All right, here we go. The Warriors, let's start right here because we got, actually, let's scroll down a little bit more. So Isaiah Roby ruled out. We have, this is too long ago. Seth Curry ruled out. Embiid went through shoot around, still questionable. Bam, looks like he's going to play. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland went through parts of shoot around. They remain questionable, but it does sound like they're going to play. Dwayne Dedman, we got Romeo Langford is ruled out. The Spurs are a shit show. We'll get into that a little bit more. Isaiah Roby of the Spurs. So both Roby and Langford are ruled out, but we've got Keldon Johnson, Devin Vassell ruled back. Zach Collins is available to play. Josh Primo is out for dick showing. Unreal. Looks like Giannis is probable. Fred VanVleet, this is one we have to pay attention to. He's questionable. We've already talked about the Warriors situation where Curry, Wiggins, Clay, Draymond all ruled out. So many guys are ruled out that Underdog went out and said, hey, we should just tell them who they have. Ty Jerome, Jordan Poole, Moses Moody, Kuminga, Kevon Looney, J. Michael of the green variety, James Wiseman, who everyone seems to be mad at Warriors Twitter, Patrick Baldwin Jr., Ryan Rollins, and Anthony Lamb. Those last two sound fake. Jabari Smith Jr. is sick, so he's questionable. LeBron James, sounds like LeBron's going to play. Anthony Davis is questionable, but he missed shoot around or was excused from it, like he needed to take a bathroom break. That makes me nervous. Kobe White was ruled out. What else do we have? Brandon Ingram probable, so that's interesting for that Pelicans game. Pelicans getting stronger, Warriors getting weaker. Cam Payne is listed out. For you Darren Fox fans, he's going to be back soon. It sounds like Trae Young is questionable after getting a finger in the eye. My guess is he plays. And then the Wizards are starting Marcus Morris, Bradley Beal, Anthony Gill, Kyle Kuz, who was questionable on Twitter, and Porzingis. So that's our fired up lineups. There we go. Bro, my Bruce Brown will go up. All right, Bruce Brown to the moon. Is that what we're saying? So you know what we're gonna do now? Dude, Superluminal. Thanks, Mike, for sharing all these alphas. That's what we're doing. We're doing alpha. JRE still gets minutes for OKC. I played our man Jeremiah Robinson Earl last night for Oklahoma City, and he started off real hot, but then didn't do shit in the second half. But what we're gonna do now, Zakarian, spin it twice and give away 3-month sub to Momentum Labs. Are you kidding me right now? So we get two giveaways. We've got the Paul Reed So Rare limited card. That's one of the ones you gotta buy, not that free shit. And then we're also giving away a 3-month sub to Momentum Labs, which is a fantastic fucking segue because we're about to go over the Momentum Labs subscription stuff right now and take a look at some of their projections. I'm going to share a link one more time to the good stuff over at Momentum Labs. I'm going to drop that in the chat, give you a chance to sign up because we're going to be using some of their projections. For those of you not super familiar with the fantasy world, projections are fun, but they're not the Bible, okay? They're not the Bible, so don't get mad if it doesn't hit the same way that it says, okay? And this is what I wanted to show. Oops, there we go. We're sharing screen. We're over at the Momentum Labs projections. Let me blow this up a little bit. I'm going to show you one, like we're looking at the main one right now. I'm going to show you the copy. This is my personal copy, and here's why. So one of the dope things that John Boy and Moment Nerd do over here at Momentum Labs, like, yes, these projections are sick. We love them. We can see they were updated. They were updated more recently than that. It said this is because it's the copy. See, it says 2 p.m. All right, but this is my copy. But what I wanted to show you is they've got a little lineup builder over here, right? So say you own the Ja Morant MVP, Ja Morant moment, you want to enter that into the MVP. Bang, right there. Look at this. Gives you a projection, gives you the cap, it plugs everything in there, right? It's like a lineup optimizer. So it's sharp. It's sharp. But this is what I wanted to say, right? So, ooh, camera. I stepped on a cord. Oh my God, that was almost bad news. That was almost bad news over here. We got a cable cord situation. But listen, it's easy to look at this list, right? It's easy to look at this list and be like, actually, you know who I think is a good play? Luka Doncic, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Ja Morant. Yeah, like no shit, those guys are good plays, okay? But that's not what we're doing today. Yeah, Underdog almost reported me out. That's easy to decide those guys are good plays. But in order to play those guys, we need to find the shit kickers to get in there with those lower caps, right? Because we have to build a lineup that fits under that cap. So what we're going to do right now is kind of take a look at some of the value. Now, we announced, like I was a part of the NBA that announced this, but the Warriors announced that they're sitting all of those dudes, right? So when you see those 4 guys sitting one shy of 5 guys, great burger joint. But if they're doing that, right, we have to go and take a look at some of the other Warriors. We're talking about Pool Party. We're talking about Moses of the Moody varieties. We're talking about Jonathan Jonathan Kuminga. We're talking about James I am mad at you Wiseman. Some of those guys are going to start popping. So let's take a look at, let's start there. Let's start with some of these Warriors fans, Warriors guys, and let's see how green the sheet gets. Okay. So if we go to Jordan Poole, here we go. Wait, that's not what I wanted to find. Bang, right there. So there we go. Jordan Poole has a cap of 27, but a projection of 39.3 and a value of 1.46. So Jordan Poole, obviously a great play. Some of the issues with this, though, is that because this announcement came so early, we've already seen the price skyrocket, right? The announcement comes out, everybody goes ham on it. So that's something to pay attention to. Actually, why don't we go over to Sorare right now? We'll look at manager sales. You can see Jermichael Green is also an interesting play. Jeremy Grant, we'll talk about. Stop it. Stop it. There we go. So we're going to pull up limited. Actually, let's just look at limited because we're the poors. Okay. We're the poors. So let's take a look at Poole first. Jordan Poole. You're going to get him for a lowest price of $68. We were 33 cents off from a nice moment. We could have been at 69 and been nice. Jordan Poole, though, at 27 cap with a 39 projection. That's like a nice little boost. This is the thing, though, as people are starting to fire in some of these Warriors guys, and I'm not trying to poo-poo Jordan Poole because I'm going to be playing Jordan Poole, but this is something to think about. The Warriors are sitting, we've already talked about this, Steph, Wiggins, Clay, Draymond. They are playing a full-strength Pelicans, right? We assume they're getting Ingram back, Zion is back, CJ McCollum's there. They've got like 14 young dudes that they're going to roll out. If the Pelicans beat the shit out of the Warriors, Jordan Poole's probably the first guy to sit, right? Then we start seeing more Patrick Baldwin Jr. We start seeing more of these younger guys who Jordan Poole would be the first. Well, Kevon Looney would be the first one, and then Jordan Poole. So if that is the case, if you think about this, if you think this game is going to blow out, I don't know, maybe Jordan Poole's not the best play. However, if you think that that game is going to stay close and you do like Jordan Poole, then maybe you're trying to make sure you get someone like Zion, someone like CJ, someone like Ingram in, right? So you got to think a little bit about how that changes the dynamics of the slate a little bit based on how the game projects. All right, so that's Jordan Poole. Let's go back over to Momentum Labs. Let's take a look at Moody because Moody is honestly my favorite play. He's got a cap of 9 over here, right? A cap of 9. Look at that dark green. Everest, is that Everest green? Forest green, maybe, if you will. Patrick Coyne saying, hot tip. Don't change your password. Your wallet gets locked. I did. Yeah. Pour one out for all of those people changing their passwords. It's a tough scene. Underdog has Poole at 24.5 points. Is that like actual points though? IRL points, or is that fantasy points? But Moody is the one that sticks out the most to me. He's been playing the best out of all of those guys. Jordan Poole right now, here's a little alpha for you right now. The man leading the NBA. Actually, no, he's second in the NBA. The man leading in the NBA in the worst plus minus numbers, Jalen Green. Second place, Jordan Poole. So just, something to keep in mind. Moses Moody, though, is one of my favorite plays tonight. He's got a value of 2.88. The cap of 9 allows you to get in some of these like more expensive dudes, your Ja Morants, your Nikola Jokic, all of those guys, right? So if we go over to, we'll look at manager sales. We'll look at Part My C's, Moses Moody. And his low ask here for limited is 39. All right, 39 for a cap of 9. Again, I don't know how much you should be spending on this. None of this is financial advice. I'm just saying someone here, right, with a cap of 9 that according to Momentum Labs has a projection of 25.9. 25.9. So like almost a 3x on their cap. This feels like chef's kiss, amore, a great play. I really like Moody. Kaminga's been playing really bad lately. There's, again, Warriors Twitter losing their goddamn mind about Kuminga. Kuminga has a cap of 2, though, and projected for the same amount as Moody. I'm not as hyped on Kuminga as I am on Moody right now. However, this is a great F1 joke right here by our man James. I'm not as hyped on Kuminga as I am on Moody. But if you're looking at these numbers, right, again, a cap of 2, holy shit, a cap of 2 with the same projection of Moody, that's somebody who's going to stick out, right? So let's go over here and let's see the cost on good old cum buckets. How's Kuminga doing? Let's see. So we said that Moody was 39, of course, because the cap of 2, this is at 53. This is a little bit pricier for Jonathan Kuminga. If you have him, great. One of these, God, I was gonna talk about flipping and selling, but I'm actually not going to go down that road because I don't know. I don't even know what the right play is on something like this. The last guy, so we looked at Poole, we looked at Moody, we looked at Kuminga. The last guy I wanted to take a little peeksy at is J. Michael Green. J. Michael Green, formerly of the Denver Nuggets. I'm a J. Michael Green fan. I think he's a little bit better than people realize. I don't know if he's a great fantasy player, but he's a good basketball player. He's going to low ask at 14 and a cap of 11. So everyone and their gosh darn mother, when they hear all of these Warriors out, immediately go Kuminga, Moody, Jordan Poole. This is the fourth one is JaMychal Green, and JaMychal Green is good, guys. He's got double potential if they give him minutes, especially like we said, the first two out of this game in a blowout. So if you're playing this as a blowout, JaMychal Green is a good spot, in my opinion. I feel like he's got double upside. He doesn't have blowout upside. Jay Blaze is saying, what about Patrick Baldwin Jr.? Does Patrick Baldwin Jr. have a moment on here? A card. Excuse me, a card. I don't want to be killed. Oh, he does. He does. Let's see. 395. 395. I feel like I'm doing an auction. So here's the thing. Again, it goes back to projections, right? So if you're putting together a lineup and you're like, ooh, I can't wait to play my Zion, don't play your Patrick Baldwin Jr. in that lineup. Don't do that, right? Because you want the most freaking upside you can get from this game. Or from this weekend. And so by playing Patrick Baldwin Jr. means you think the Pelicans beat the hell out of them. So that's kind of how I would approach this. So if you don't have any Pelicans and you think the Pelicans blow them out, then I'd go JaMychal. I would go, Patrick Baldwin Jr. It's a 395 flyer. Here's the thing. I'd also say people are dumb. And if he does have a big game, this immediately goes to like $15, right? Something like that. So anyways, that's my take on the Warriors situation. Let's go ahead and remind the people you need to like the stream, subscribe to Team Hold, and put in hashtag Momentum Labs for a shot at a Paul Reed, baby. At a Paul Reed. John Wall was fantastic this morning. There we go. That was a great call. Great callback. But for a shot at a Paul Reed limited card, we'll give this away towards the end. All you got to do is DM me your Sorare name, and we'll get that over to you. All right, let's keep looking at let's just, instead of focusing on the Warriors, let's just kind of scroll through the Momentum Labs projections. And while we're down here in the field, let's take a look at some of these other value plays, right? So you're seeing next to Kuminga is also Anthony Lamb. Anthony Lamb projected for a lot less. He was on the list of who are these players that are playing tonight? The Warriors don't have a ton of guys, but he's someone that sticks out. Ty Jerome, actually, sorry, one more Warrior, and then we'll get out of here. Ty Jerome, his cap is 17. Forget it. I'm not interested in Ty Jerome. You the weakest link. Goodbye. Let's start down here. Let's start around. Let's see if anybody else pops. All right, so we did the 2. Let's get to the 4. There's 3 guys here. 1, Toscano Anderson, JT Thor of Charlotte Hornets, and Jordan Wara. You're going to see a lot of the Bucks are popping. I'm going to be honest, guys. I don't really love any of these. These aren't my favorite. So I'm probably not touching a lot of these. However, if they are pieces you already own, sure, let it ride, baby. Let it ride. But I wouldn't go ham trying to scoop any of these moments. Cards. Then we go to Pierre Yuta. I want to shout out NBA Top Shot Talk. If you don't follow him on YouTube or Twitter, he's been doing some pretty sick Sorare content. He was the one that put me on Yuta because if you're a Raptors fan or Canadian, you just for no reason are a Yuta fan for the rest of your life. But as we talked about earlier, the Brooklyn Nets are, if you look them up in the dictionary, it is tire fire. They don't have Kyrie Irving. They don't have Seth Curry. Yuta seems to be the only one that runs at full speed. Most of the guys aren't really trying, but Yuta seems to give a shit. Yuta, he's only got 5. He's got a cap of 5. When we look at his projections, he's popping at 23.8. So Yuta is one of my favorite plays. Perfect analysis for Yuta fandom. There he is right there. Everybody go follow Top Shot Talk if you're not following him already. He is the best. But Yuta is a solid play. I'm a big fan of him. Jalen Johnson's popping for Atlanta. Fine. I'm not super interested. Scam Thomas, if you are a Nets fan. So again, we've already said we've already said that the Nets are a dumpster fire. So if they were going to do anything in this situation, what would it be? It would be develop and give a shot to some of your young guys. However, Brooklyn also likes to do the wrong thing. So I don't even know if Cam is going to play. Full disclosure, I bought a Cam limited and a rare yesterday, the second the information came out, because I'm a fish. But Cam also has been like pretty vocal on Twitter and Instagram about his role right now, which, like, to me personally, when you are in a position of influence and power, using Twitter to get your point across, not great, Bob. Like, just do better practice, then maybe you'll get into the game. But Cam Thomas is someone who is popping, so I totally get trying to check that out. There we go. We're asking, how do we get into the Momentum Labs? Great question. I'm going to drop a link into the chat. You can sign up for a Momentum Labs subscription. It's either $7 or $9 a month. I should know that information. I apologize, John, that I don't. You can check that out. We're also giving away a 3-month subscription. They have analysis. This is like, the site is fire, but they also have analysis for moment ranks play if you're in the top shot streets, for super draft, for, I don't know what BM is. I'll be honest, I don't know. All right, here we go. Anybody else? The Green Cornet from Boston, Luke Cornett. Whatever, dude. I'm not playing Luke Cornett. Let's keep scrolling. Let's get to some better plays here. Dwayne Dedman is interesting. What about Terry Rozier? Will he play? That's a great question. That's a great question. I don't know if Terry's been announced yet. Well, you know what I'll do? I'll do a check in a second. Where is the NBA projection sheets? Okay, here we go. I'm going to listen. This is a tutorial. Okay. This is a tutorial for the people. You see this? Now we're at the homepage of momentumlabs.app. If you go over here, if you go to analysis right here, and then bang, there's Top Shot, NFL All Day, Rumble, NBA fantasy projections will take you to the sweet streets. And then you can just click down there. All right. So that should help you get there. John, I'm charging you more now, bro. All right, here we go. Let's keep moving. Yeah, Dwayne Dedman is fine for Miami. I don't know. I understand why he's the backup big. There's no Omar Yurt. So it's just him and Bam. Speaking of Miami, though, there's no Jimmy Butler tonight. Tyler Hero and Bam Adebayo are going to run 98 pick and rolls tonight. There's going to be a lot of pick and rolls happening in that game or this weekend. So if you are an owner of a Hero or a Bam, which, by the way, we're doing a Hero. Oh my God, we've never done a drop during a So Rare show. But if we're talking about Tyler Hero, you're gonna get a drop because there's no Jimmy buckets. Oh my God, where's the drop? Where's the drop? I thought I had it handy. And I was ready to go. God damn it. Where is it? Oh, this is so embarrassing. So embarrassing. Thought I had the Tyler Hero drop. Now I'm nervous I like deleted it. Oh, this is bad. Here we go. There we go. Bang. We get some Tyler Hero. It took a little while. Sorry, that took a minute. All right, let's keep scrolling here. Now we're up into the sevens. Matisse Thybulle. So James Harden is out for like he's out for 1 month. James Harden is out for 1 month, so that does fuck up the offense. We're still waiting to hear the Joel Embiid news. If Joel Embiid is out, that really shakes things up. But because Harden is out, Matisse Thybulle should see more minutes. They've already announced Anthony Melton is going to be the one that inserts his way into the starting lineup. So instead of entering like Paul Reed or Montrezl Harrell, they're throwing in DeAnthony Melton. PJ Tucker will shift to the 5. But Matisse Thybulle is a big blocks and steal guys. If you're in the fantasy streets, we call those a stock player. So Matisse Thybulle should pop. Deep down in my heart, I think Matisse Thybulle is kind of trash. So as a fantasy player and as an NBA player. So I'm probably not going out of my way to get Matisse Thybulle, but whatever. For a cap of 7 allows you to do more. Staying in the Brooklyn Nets realm, Edmund Summer, he is the only other guy besides Yuta who's been running for the Brooklyn Nets. So I kind of like Edmund Summer. He is affected probably the most about Kyrie sitting. So I'm a big fan of Edmund here. Again, a cap of 7. Like, if we look at these caps of 7 guys, and let's look at the projection here. So he's got Matisse Thybulle at 17, Javon Carter at 16, Edmund Summer at 15. James Bouknight, I'm not playing. Sam Hauser, I don't think I'm playing either. And Daniel House Jr. is interesting because of the Sixers. For me, for my money, Edmund Sumner has the highest ceiling of all of those guys. He also only costs $10 right now for a limited card. Edmondson, again, we've seen him pop before when he was on the Pacers. That was kind of his thing because the Pacers tried aggressively to lose games last year. I like Sumner here with no Seth Curry and no Kyrie Irving. I think he gets a pretty long leash and he's got good upside. So Sumner would be my play there. Let's actually go over to Sorare again and check what Sumner's going for here. He, again, full disclosure, he's someone that I bought earlier, but again, that's because I think he's got some of the higher upside. So for limited, he's got a low ask of 22 buckaroos. That's Edmund Sumner right there. Yo, what about Patty Mills? Oh, Panini, yay, Patty Mills. Patty Mills, I think is a good play as well. Patty Mills is good. You know, I feel like they haven't really given him a leash to like do some stuff. I don't know what's going on with Patty, but Patty still can chuck, man. Like at any point he can go like 7 for 10 from 3. So if you have a Patty Mills, you want to throw him out there, that's fine. Damian Lee, you're seeing Damian Lee. Oh wait, we got Matt Ryan for the Lakers, Raul Neto for Cleveland. I don't think I'm firing Raul Neto, Josh Green, whatever. None of these guys excite me except for Damian Lee, and here's why. Campaign is out, and Chris Paul is my age. So I don't think they're going to give Chris Paul too much extra run here. And Damian Lee, I suspect, would get a few more minutes. And he's similar to Patty Mills. He's someone that if he gets hot, he can chuck. He can hit some threes. But I'm not too excited about anybody in this range except for Damian Lee. Wait, Mitchell and Garland are out. Did we get that news? Did that just happen? Da-na-na. Do we have breaking news? Hold on. Let's go over to Underdog. Cavs. Wow. Oh, wow. Okay, so Mitchell is out. Daniel House is ruled out. Whoa. All right, let's catch up here. So here we go. We've been live for 26 minutes, so we can go from here. Bam's on track to play. Dedmon's on track to play. Quentin Grimes could start. We've heard that Evan Fournier is going to the bench. Daniel House is ruled out. So Matisse Thybulle, the shit I was saying about Matisse Thybulle, he's going to get even more minutes. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, both ruled out. So that's why Raul Neto is popping. LeVert, Okoro, Wade, Evan Mobley, Allen. Man, I'm going to be honest. I hate all of that for Cleveland. That doesn't get me too hyped. Wow. I feel like LeVert is just really the usage monster, right? Like how many shots is LeVert going to take? Like 40? We needed some Lagunitas in there. Let's see how many, what's LeVert popping for here over in the Momentum Labs world. LeVert here, I'm sure this probably isn't super up to date because Garland and Mitchell are still in, but he's got a cap of 27. Man, he's going to take 1,000,000 shots. He's going to take 1,000,000 shots. I'm trying to look here. I'm pulling up my phone real quick, so I apologize. That's what it looks like. I want to see what the last Cavs game was because, I know they beat the Celtics, right? 114-113. Let me see. Who do they have on their bench? So they have, so they're missing Mitchell and Garland. So they had Dean Wade and Okoro's in this. So Lamar Stevens, Raul Neto. God, it's going to be ugly. It's going to be ugly for that Cleveland game. Woof, not interested. Not interested in that Cleveland game. Not interested in that Cleveland game whatsoever to watch it, that is. But Caris LeVert would probably be my biggest play. Also, hey, here, you want a little hot take? I think Evan Mobley can do a little facilitation on the offensive side of things. Like we know he's a great defensive player, but I also think he could play a little bit from the high post and initiate some offense. So I don't know. Maybe, wow, people are overreacting. What else? Shout out Gnome, by the way. If you're not following Gnome, both on Twitter and YouTube, he's been doing some sick, so rare content. So check out Gnome. Yeah, I don't think you should go buy Caris LeVert, but if you already have him, that's a fine play. I don't know. Man, that's crazy. Crazy. Ryan says, great. So now we're only competing with Osmo and Roto Grinders on YouTube right now. What are we talking about? 2v2 question from Consigliere. Are we on DraftKings? You're saying Clarkson and Brandon Clark or Kevin Love and Drummond? God, fuck. What are we doing? I hate all of these. Probably K Love and is Vooch out? Why are we playing Drummond? Ugh. Coach Stark Holmes, boots on the ground, says word is Landry Shamet for campaign. DA is going to play tonight too. So there you go. Your Jock Landals and your Jock Landells and your Bismack Biyombo is probably no good now with DeAndre Ayton back. And Landry Shamet is interesting. I hate Shamit though. If I'm being like, that's a personal thing. I am out on Shamit. Shamit. God Shamit. All right, let me just check Underdog one more time to make sure no more tweets came in while we were doing that. Man, that Cleveland news threw me. This is why we do the live before lock, baby. This is how we win. All right, let's go back over to Momentum Labs. Let's see if anything else is popping for us over here. We talked about Levert. Let's get back down. Excuse me. Let's get back down to the cap of around. We were at like 7, I think. Yeah, so Matisse Thybulle where we left off. So here, Damian Lee's where we left off. So the next one that pops the most is Moses Moody. We already checked him out. Anthony Gill, I mentioned, is starting for Washington. He's a real low usage player. If anything, this makes me like Beal more. I don't love it. Patty Mills, there you go. So whoever asked about Patty Mills earlier, that's dark green. Shake Milton, another Sixer that's bumping a little bit again. I don't really love Shake. Shake it out, shake it out. All right, here we go. Jermichael Green, we already talked about. Projection of 24 with a cap of 11. Sign me the fuck up. I'm going to go all the way up to 20, and then I'm going to start building some of my lineups to just show you what I'm going through. I've been having a real tough time figuring out how to approach this slate. Aaron Neesmith right there. He's another one that pops. He's still questionable, so wait till you get the Neesmith news, but I believe he's back. John says just updated the projection new with the Cav News. Levert, a little pop. Good ceiling play versus median. Yeah, I would say, yeah, if you own Karis LeVert, I love it as a play. You should absolutely get Karis LeVert in there. I don't think you should be going out and buying Karis LeVert. That's what I would say. He's already pumped up enough. Drew Eubanks playing? Oh, is the Eubanks open? I think Eubanks is playing. Sufjan, I feel like you're down bad if we're asking about Eubanks, though. We got to find another spot. Dominic asked about Anthony Edwards. I believe Anthony Edwards is still questionable. I don't think we have any news on that yet. I'll double check again on Anthony Edwards, but I believe we don't have that news yet. That's the one tricky thing about this. We're like setting our lineups before we get all the news. All right, here we go. We got another spot. It's Gabe Vincent. Here was somebody I wanted to talk about. Gabe Vincent is someone I'm pretty excited about. The thing about Gabe, though, I was really excited about Gabe, and then we got all that goddamn news about the Warriors and now the Cavs. Gabe Vincent was like my favorite guard play until the Moses Moody news came out. No, I freaking love this take. I was talking about this earlier today. Justin Winslow, I totally agree, man, because I was looking at the backup guards, and it's like Greg Brown the third, because they don't have Dame, they don't have Simons. Everyone's going to go to Shaedon Sharpe. I actually went the way of scooping up Jeremy Grant, but I love this Justice Winslow play. He's someone that picks up all of these different peripheral stats, right? He can facilitate offense. He can play defense. He gets rebounds. Justice Winslow is a great call. I really love that play. I did go the Jeremy Grant route, though, just thinking, like, who's going to score points now that Dame and Simons is out? I have Shaedon of the Sharp variety, so I'll still play him as well. But Gabe, I love. Duncan Robinson, not as much, because you just need him to shoot a bunch of threes. So there we go. Whatever. Grayson Allen. Again, John is a Bucks fan. I feel like all these guys are popping because John loves the Bucks. I know it's because Chris Middleton's not back yet, but that's how I feel. Shaedon Sharpe, we just talked about. His cap's up to 15 now. I liked it more when it was at around 11 and 13, but whatever. Nick Richards, he's the backup big for Charlotte. Man, his cap is kind of where it's supposed to be, so I don't know how much upsides Nick Richards has, if I'm being honest, at that price point. All right, let's see if anybody else pops over here. And okay, Colin Sexton, sex god, if you will. Keon Johnson, he's another one as well. Colin Sexton has been starting to get a little bit more run too. They were really limiting his minutes early. It's kind of hard to gauge any guards upsides when Jordan Clarkson's on your team and gets the ball most of the time, but I do like Colin Sexton. People are talking about Zubac into the chat. So let's take a look at Zubac, because they are playing Portland, I believe, right? And so they should get 1 million rebounds. Is that what we're saying? He's got a projection of his cap is 31. Dude, here's the thing about Zubac, man. I love Zubac. He's a great DFS play, but the last week or so, he was averaging 4.5 blocks a game. So that's kind of I feel like his 10-day average is kind of, I don't know. I do like Zubac, though. Wow, Sean's pumping up Furkman Korkmaz. We're just talking about Turks today. We're having fun. Aaron Neesmith is out. There you go. Aaron Neesmith is out, which usually secures some more upside for Benedict Mathurin. The Spurs are hard to read, tanking, allowing 143 points. What I will say, though, is they sat Keldon Johnson that game. Keldon Johnson is back. Devin Vassell is back. So they actually have guys that are good at basketball. So I think if you own either of those guys, those are really solid plays. All right, what I'm going to do right now, I need to start building some of my lineups for 34 minutes in, and I don't know what I'm going to do yet. So I'm going to be building a limited contender, a limited MVP, and a rare contender. That's what I'm going to be building. Would love for you guys to dunk on me. I will remind the people. Oh, what do you think about Torian Prince, Nyang, George Yang, and Jose Alvarado? Sorry, I fell all over George Yang. Let's go to the projections to do that, Dominic. That's a great question. My guess, before I look at the projections, my favorite of these are, I'm going to rank them Prince, Alvarado, and Yang. That's going to be my call on this. Let's see what the projections say. So Prince has a cap of 13, is projecting just under 10. But I do like Prince. Alvarado is Alvarado. It's got a cap of 15, projection of 13. And then Georges Yang. I feel like I might have been completely wrong on this. Yeah, there you go. Cap of 9, projection of 11. Georges Yang by the value books are the right call. Joker Rock saying keep an eye on the lock time. Let's go look at the lock time. Is it locking soon? 43 minutes. We got 43 minutes. So that's 650. All right. So we're going to build the lineup here. Guys, keep the question coming. Keep them coming. This is really helpful when you do it. Just a reminder, we're giving away a limited contender or limited card moment. It is Paul Reed of the Philadelphia 76ers. We're also giving away a Momentum Lab subscription. Oh my God, 69. Nice. We have 69 entrants into this. All you have to do is like the stream, subscribe to Team Hold, put hashtag Momentum Labs into the chat. If you're still watching this and you haven't signed up yet, sign up for both Momentum Labs, and you can look at the pinned chat, sign up for Sorare, use our promo code to give me the fucking money. I'm just kidding. I barely get anything. Some of these limited rare to rare spreads get out of control going into the lock. Yeah, they do start wiling out. Okoro worth 20 as a starter, says Boyan. Dude, here's the thing about Okoro, man. Okoro is like a 3-and-D guy, right? He's not going to get you any assists. You need him to run hot with rebounds, and you need him to hit threes. So Okoro, high risk, high reward. If you need one more player, let's actually go back over to Momentum Labs and let's see what Okoro is coming in at with this new. Okay, it's saying cap of 6. Yeah, dude, I think that's a pretty good play. None of this is financial advice, though. Oh my God, JP in the chat. Yeah, I think I like Okoro actually at that cap. No cap. I like that Okoro play. All right, let's go over here. I'm going to build my rare contender first. Let me delete it so you can't see it yet. But this is what I think I'm doing. So the rare contender. So with the rare contender, right? Actually, let's look at this real quick. You have to enter. You need at least 3 rare cards to do it. And then you can do 2 limited ones if you want. The rare, wow, they changed this a little bit. So there's only 2,155 participants right now. Top 600 winner rare card. Shout out NBA Top Shot Talk, who came in third, I think. But these are some of the ones I scooped up. So I was excited to play Draymond Green. He got ruled out. So we're going to throw in Jordan Poole at 27. He's in a great spot, like we already talked about. Jeremy Grant is another one at 29. I love Jeremy Grant with no Anthony Simons or Dame time. Yuta! We talked about Yuta, and that leaves me with an average of 24 for my last 3, right? So here we go. Ready? Watch this. Zion, that leaves me with 9. Hit him with it. Wait, get there. Moses Moody. This is my squad right here. This is what I'm rolling out. I'm very excited. Dominic is saying, I'll go back to that right now in a second. But this is going to be my squad, I think. Jordan Poole, Jeremy Grant, Yuta, Zion Williams, and Moses Moody. I'm excited about this squad. Part of the reason I really like this one is I have 2 Warriors, right? So I'm playing Poole and Moody, assuming this game, there's some fireworks, as Katy Perry would say, and then run it back with Zion, Jeremy Grant. I love the position he's in, and then Yuta as a great value lineup. I really like this squad. I feel too confident. That's going to be my rare. People were asking about Dragic. I almost bought a Dragic earlier in the week because he was playing really well off the bench. thing is his cap came up a little bit, but I do like it with Kobe White out. Kobe White out, I do like it. Feel like that's a little bit helpful. Samito saying, where can I find this Excel? So this is at momentumlabs.app. You got to sign up for a subscription, one that we are actually giving away today. Did I close out of that? I think I closed out of it. You can find it in the show notes, but it's momentumlabs.app. I'll drop a link into the chat right now. Check them out. Check them out. But there we go. All right, so that's Dragic. Let's go back over here. So that is my squad for my rare contender. I'm pretty excited about that. I'm gonna do my limited champion, I think, next. So the limited champion, for those that are new, the difference between oh, look at Sean Grant. This has been invaluable info. Thanks, everybody. Shout out, Sean. The difference between the champion versus the contender, right, is you get 120 to build your lineup, but the first player you put in, your MVP, doesn't count towards it. So that's when someone like a Ja, a Jokic, a Giannis, LeBron becomes in handy. So we start right there. We still got 120 out of 120 left. I have an average of 30. I think I'm going to play Kevin Porter Jr. in this one as well. That gets me down to 26. I kind of like, oh man, I kind of want to save Cameron. Actually, you know what? Fuck it. We're going to build this other one first. We're going to go to limited contender because I think limited contender is a little bit more competitive. And it's a little bit harder to build. And I think I want to know what I'm left with after that. Bodivine, I think that's a great comment here. He says, I'm buying players day after tomorrow at discount. So this is something people should pay attention to. Everyone is jacked up right now, right? Everybody wants to build their lineups. We're locking in 30 minutes or 40 minutes. Everybody is looking at projections. Everybody's looking at everything and trying to get their lineups. They're bidding on auctions. They're buying stuff in the marketplace. Do buy shit tomorrow or like tonight in an hour. Same thing on, what day is it? Monday. Monday night is when the next one locks, the next week of play. Buy that stuff Monday night, Tuesday morning, when everyone is just like watching their lineups build. That's a great point right there. All right, here we go. Let's go back over here. I'm going to start with Keldon Johnson. So Keldon Johnson, that gives me an average of 17 after that. I want to go down here next to get in Shaedon Sharpe that I was pretty excited about. I feel like I could go JaMychal Green, Gabe Vincent. That leaves me with 32 for a last spot. What does 32 get me? Jeremy Grant. That gets me Jeremy Grant right there. So we got, and I'm leaving 3 on the table. So Keldon Johnson, Shaedon Sharpe, JaMychal Green, Gabe Vincent, Jeremy Grant. I think that is going to be, this is like somewhat balanced. Again, the Blazers should put up or the usage will be condensed for the Blazers because they're without Damon Simon. So I like both of those guys. Gabe Vincent, I told you earlier, was a great play until he wasn't as great because of all the Warriors stuff. So that's going to be my squad over there. And then we're going to do one more. And also, again, we'll do some Q&As here for the last like 15 minutes or so. If you guys have questions, fire them into the chat now. Limited champion, this is going to be our last one. Again, we're going to go Ja, Kevin Porter Jr. That leaves me 26 average. We'll go Cam Johnson, Monty Morris. Leaves me with 28. I think I'm just going to throw in Keon Johnson right there and leave 7 on the table. I think that's what we're going to do. How do we feel? What do we think about these? I think that's going to be my squad. I know I'm supposed to do a common contender too, just for the hell of it. For the contender, you're going to be a contender. We think Ingram's going to play, but I'm going to go Şengün Barnes. Let's scroll down a little bit. See if anybody's popping down here. I think Torrey Craig gets a little bit of a boost. George's Damian Lee gets a little bit of boost. That leaves me at 31. Can we do one more fun one? Closest we can do is Austin Reeves, Sadiq Bey. Let's do Poku, and let's see if we can move up from Torrey Craig a little bit to 20. I don't know. Cody Martin. Let's just do Cody Martin. The common ones is a little bit like, now that I have money in it, like the common ones are a little bit tougher. Champion, again, this is the MVP. Let's go Jokic, LeBron. That leaves me with 22. We'll go Giddey next. That leaves me with 16 apiece for the last 2 spots. Now we'll do Torrey Craig, Georges Niang. Can I get up from Giddey at all? Giddy up. I go Ingram. Nah, it's going to be my squad. Those are my squads. Those are my squads tonight. All right, here we go. Brent says, signed up a team hold and bought 5 limiteds. How do they drop us? Did that just happen today, Brent? If you just, it usually takes a little bit. It usually takes a little bit, but it should show up soon. D-Boy saying, put Wiseman in. Almost all the starters out, not playing tonight. This could be a big game for Wiseman. Yeah, D-Boy, I agree. I do like Wiseman. I'm not really sure where I would put him. I'm not really sure where I would put him, though. You know, like, I don't know who I would take him in for. Can you explain training and XP? I actually know them. If you're in the chat and you want to drop a little XP knowledge on them and training, basically my understanding, sorry, I had a cough, is that it allows you to build your cards, your XP up a little bit on your cards so they become a little bit more valuable. It gives them a little extra boosty boost is my assumption, my understanding of that. Gnome in the chat saying just picked up Scotty Barnes, hoping Fred Van Fleet's out. Yeah, we should get the Fred Van Fleet news. Let me actually double check Underdog right now to see if anything else spicy happened here. Andre Drummond is definitely out. Jaylen Brown is now questionable for Friday. Man, fuck. If Jaylen Brown is out, Malcolm Brogdon's going to get a nice little boost. Tatum obviously is going to do more of the offensive load. Marcus Smart gets a boost. Everybody on the Celtics team. Derek White is probably another monster boost if he is out. So that news is pretty important there. The Jaylen Brown. We already talked about Neesmith. Let me make sure there's nothing else here. Before I keep going, let me make sure there's nothing else here. Yeah, so that's it. Wow, that news is pretty important there. Matthias says thoughts on this for a limited champion. MVP Jokic, we love that. Embiid, Hart, LeVert, Kevon Looney. That, you know what? You know what we can do again to highlight a little bit about what John does over here on Momentum Labs. So ready? Let's put your lineup in and see how it holds up. So what did you say? You said Jokic as your MVP. So, oh wait, no, erase it. All right, here we go. MVP. Let's go, Nikola Jokic. Oh, I messed it up. Hold on. I messed it up. My bad. All right, let's scroll back over here. Oh no, it's not working. Oh, hold on. I do want to plug it in because I want to show you how this works. So hold on, let me just make one more copy of this, and then it'll make sense. Also, just a reminder while I'm doing this, if you haven't liked the stream, subscribed, and put hashtag Momentum Labs into the chat, we're going to be giving away a free Sorare card. We're giving away a Paul Reed limited card in a second here, so make sure you do that. All right, let me now go over here now that I made a copy. Now that I made a fool out of myself, let's go back over to the Sorare projections. Let's slide into those DMs. So here we go. See how this is plugged in right now? What we're going to do here, again, shout out Momentum Labs. We're going to plug in Nikola Jokic. I believe you said Joel Embiid. And then who else we have in here? Kevon Looney, I saw. That's a good one. I love the Kevon Looney play tonight, too, especially if that game stays close. And then it's Josh of the Hart variety. And then last but not least, who was it again? One more time for the people in the back, Karis LeVert. So here we go. Let's see how this projects. It's got a cap of 118, so you're 2 under. And look at that projection of 198. That's pretty sharp, man. That's pretty sharp, Matthias. I like that at all. Buttervine said the free card was a journey for me as well. Look and you will find. Yeah. It takes a while for it to load up. Raps averaging 141 without without Freddie. Yeah, I mean, that is a small sample size. Bandy is upset about the JB noise. Yeah, the news. He's now sleeping on the floor. Bandy's my dog, for those of you that are new. Let's see what else we got. Brent, there you go. D-Boy explaining it. Brent, if you go to the invite friends page, you should see the reward there. There we go. Shout him out. Can we access this file? Can we access this file? Is there a link? Yeah, the link is in the show notes. I'm going to put it into the chat one more time. It's momentumlabs.app. It's behind a little bit of a paywall, though, but we are giving away a 3-month subscription here in a second. Sean Grant says, my play is to buy injured players for cheap and then stick them in training so that when they become back, they're even more valuable. Yeah, man, I'm loving the different strategies that are here, right? Like one of the things that I've been doing is trying to find players that I think are going to pop in the future. I was actually able to benefit on this already. Jalen Williams from the Oklahoma City Thunder was out with an eye injury for quite some time, and I scooped him pretty early. He's the rookie, and I was like, you know what? I assume Oklahoma City is going to tank at some point, so why don't we go ahead, scoop him now? And then what ended up happening with Giddey's injury, he came back, and immediately, because he had a cap of 4, was popping in all these projections, and I actually flipped him right away. So I do think there's different ways to do it, right? You can buy guys that are popping right now. You can buy guys that you think might pop in a little bit. Again, it's one of the benefits or one of the fun things about playing with Sorare. I think there's just different ways to play it. It's not one strategy fits all. You can mess around with it a little bit. So I like that. Dominic says, what about Sadiq Bey when the Cavs are missing some stars? Yeah, Again, I like this whole idea of correlation. I'm coming from the daily fantasy sports world. So the idea of correlation where you're like, okay, because the Cavs don't have all their guys, maybe this is a little bit more competitive. The one thing I will say, Dominic, is the players they're bringing in for Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Like if we look at Mitchell and Garland, I wouldn't say those are the defenders of the team, right? So maybe the guys they're bringing in are a little bit more stout defenders, although I don't know if Raul Neto is that guy either. So Sadiq Bey, I think is fine. Let's actually go look at Sadiq Bey over here. Nope, not on Super Draft. Let's look at Sorare. Let's do a Control F for the bros. Let's look at Sadiq Bey. Sadiq Bey right here. Yeah, he's popping a little bit here. Cap at 24. I like Sadiq. Sadiq Bey and both Boyan of the Bogdanoviches, I think are great. John, yeah, someone asked, do you value projections on the ceilings more? I do. I'm a big ceiling guy, dude. Ceiling versus the floor. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to and you know what? Everybody's different. Everyone is different with how they use projections and how they try to figure out their lineups. For me, I like to come in first. I would rather come in first than like barely squeak into the cash. Other people are different. So I look at ceilings a little bit more than I look at anything else. That's for me. But John was saying ceiling more important for champion, base projection more important for contender. There you go. Lapaka says best 33 cap player. Let's take a look at the projections. So cap of 33. Here we go. We see Josh Hart. So again, Josh Hart is someone who we're not seeing him pop too much, but because of no Simons, because of no Dame, he does he's a good rebounder for the position that he is. I think Josh Hart is fine. Russ, new 6th man of the year. Chris Middleton's not playing. Rubio. Zach LaVine I actually like here. So Zach LaVine has a cap of 32. But a projection of 39. So, we can actually look at this. Look at this. Projection of 39. You got Bam down here at 40, Tyrese Maxey. So, if you own those guys, I would rank them Maxey, Bam, Maxey, then Bam, then LaVine. That's how I would do it. But my guess is that's also how they are priced. So, I think those are fine. If Fred VanVleet is out, Scotty Barnes is someone who's going to pop because as we saw in the last game, like obviously Siakam pops, but instead of going to their backup point guard, Malachi Flynn, they're like Scotty Barnes. So Barnes plays a lot of the backup point guard there. So even if Scotty doesn't get you 25 actual points, what he'll do is get you like 14, 10, and 8 or something like that. So Scotty Barnes, I think, is a great play. OG Anunoby, I think, is coming in at 29, right? Yeah, OG Anunoby, he's a steal block machine. I like him quite a bit. So OG Anunoby is fine. Evan Mobley, we already talked about how he might be doing some of the facilitation of the offense with both Mitchell and Garland out. He's someone that sticks out. You could make a case for Tobias Harris. I'm fucking bored by Tobias Harris. He just bores me. I just don't he's not, I don't know. I know that Embiid's questionable. Harden's out. Pass. I don't want to play Tobias, but if you have him, it's fine. D'Angelo Russell, I actually think it might be just bad at basketball now, so I'm not interested in him. Kyle Lowry, I don't really know. Jamal Murray, though, hey, Jamal Murray is someone we should talk to for a second. Because Jamal Murray is starting to come into form a little bit. We saw it last night. Hit a slow first half, but is like slowly coming back to who he was. So I really like where Jamal Murray's heading. Might not be a weekend play this weekend. I can't remember how many games the Nuggets play. Actually, it tells you right here. That's why these spreadsheets are great. Yeah, they only play one game. Jamal Murray's always coming back from injury. Maybe he doesn't play. But if you're buying for the future, I like him a lot. All right, I think those are a handful of options there. Oh, Tyler Hero. I talked about Tyler Hero and the pick and roll that he's going to be doing. I like Tyler Hero quite a bit. So take a look at that as well. We need a hero. Yeah, I like Tyler Hero quite a bit. All right, there we go. There was a bunch of smash plays. What else you guys got for me? While I take a little sip of Lagunitas. If you're new here, by the way, too, we do an NBA morning show Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern time. We do some football content as well throughout the week. We do a Sunday morning football show at 11 a.m. Eastern, live before lock with John Boy Beats from Momentum Labs, building some fantasy lineups. We also do this live before lock show Mondays at 5:30, Fridays at 5:30. We're going to be really diving into Sorare. It seems to be like the community seems to be pretty into it. You guys seem to be pretty into it. So, how do you feel about Halliburton? I love Tyrese, man. Tyrese kind of had an off game the last game for the first time this year. I feel like Hallie's been so consistent, but I'm a big Halliburton fan. He's got a cap of 43, but a projection of 41.8. Excuse me. Yeah, I like Halliburton. I think he's a double-double machine now. When we think of double-double machines, we think of like, points and rebounds, not necessarily points and assists, but he is that, man. He is that. And I think at any given moment, the Pacers can be like, hey, we're going to be sitting Miles Turner and Buddy Hield tonight. And with Aaron Nesmith out, it's more minutes, more usage to go around. Not that Nesmith is a big usage guy. I do think Nesmith affects Benedict Mathurin more. Or Matherin, excuse me. But I like Halliburton quite a bit. Matthias says, in your opinion, how heavily should you favor player with 2 games rather than 1? That's a great question. But so I actually, for whatever reason, and I don't know, I would love to hear the chat's opinion on this. I think about that more on the Monday to Thursday slate than I do the Friday to Sunday slate. Reason being is there's just more time that passes in the Monday to Thursday, and there's weirder stuff that can happen. I feel like on Friday, we have pretty good information about what's going to happen on the weekend. Like Sunday's the only wild card day because on Friday, we have a pretty good feel of like who's playing and who's not playing on Saturday. So that's kind of why I lean that way. So I don't really care about the weekend, but on the weekday, I would like to have them get 2 games in. But if we're talking about is like, do I play Jokic or not? Like if Jokic plays 1 game, he's probably like his floor is like 45 and his ceiling is 75. You know what I mean? So I'm probably playing Jokic no matter what. Joker Rock says 2 games versus 1 games. Depends on how much you trust the player. Also, I got caught with guys taking a rest day. Yeah, I got burned by Ben Simmons this week, as did the Brooklyn Nets. But I had Ben Simmons. I knew he was out the first game, but it sounded like he was playing the second game, and they decided he wasn't. So that one hurt. So it depends like what your risk tolerance is. I think if you could use that as a tiebreaker, if like you can't decide between 2 guys that have similar projections and you're like, all right, that'll be the tiebreaker because they're playing 2 games. They get 2 shots at Brandon Ingram versus 1 shot at Keldon Johnson. Also shout out for me for coming out with the perfect comparison. Yeah, it depends on matchups as well, Superluminal, right? If you're playing the Rockets, fire the guy up, fire whoever that is. So, yeah, good questions, though. Good questions. Hamy's saying 30% better. What's 30% better? The guy with 2 games is 30% better? Where I see it different is that on Monday to Thursday, most teams playing twice, but at the weekend, it's only like 8 to 15 teams usually. There you go. That's also helpful. Let me double check Underdog, too, to make sure nothing else spicy came in here. I'll let you guys see it as well. Knicks are starting Brunson, Grimes, RJ, Julius, Mitchell Robinson. Jaylen Brown is available to play. We don't have to overreact to that. So there you go. That's helpful. All right, here we go. Last call to enter this giveaway. We're up to 79 entrants. All you're going to do is like the stream, subscribe, put hashtag Momentum Labs into the chat. I can't imagine anyone's still here that hasn't signed up for Sorare yet, but if you haven't, do it. Sign it up. Use our link. You can see it in our pinned chat. You can also see it in the show notes. Get you 20 free common cards so you can get started right away. But you can also buy 5 cards off the marketplace, get a 6 free. Paul says low salary but high variance guys got to have 2 games. That's totally fair. Again, I feel that way more aggressively during the week than they do on the weekend just because more days. Magnum Coley says, you think the Nets will play better defense right away? They were the worst defensive team in the league matchup. Dude, Magnum, let me tell you this right now. There's no shot in hell they're going to play better defense. Like, anybody that's like, oh, well, dude, Steve Nash wasn't the reason they were playing defense. Steve Nash isn't on the court. Steve Nash wasn't the reason they weren't playing defense. The reason they weren't playing defense is they were rolling out fucking Kyrie, Ben Simmons, who has a half a back, Joe Harris, Nicholas Claxton. That's why they weren't playing defense. It wasn't Steve Nash. There's no way. Dominic, did you sign up using our link or were you already signed up? Because it only happens using our link. No, I think Jaylen Brown's good to go. They said he's going to be available to play. Stones says thoughts on Nurkic. Stones, let me tell you this. I think Nurkic is the big brain play of the night. Whenever Dame is out, everyone's like, oh, it must be Simons. And now that Simons is out, everyone's like, oh, it must be Sharp, must be Jeremy Grant. Nurk's usage goes way up when those guys are out. So I like Nurk. I like Nurk quite a bit. That's a great play. Oh, yeah, that's probably why, Dominic, is because you already signed up. This is for new users that come from your boy. It also needs to be 5 auctions. Can't be secondary. There you go, David. Tatum or LeBron, says Manuel. Manuel, let's take a look at the. So my heart will tell you Tatum because I'm from fucking Boston, kid. Go Seas. But I bet that's pretty close. Let's see what the spread skeets say. Spread skeets have LeBron. So LeBron is projected to hit 50 at a cap of 52. Tatum has got a cap of 47. Okay, no, actually, Tatum is the better play, right? Because it's close. Cap of 52, projection of 50. Tatum, cap of 47, projection of 51. So he's got a higher projection and a lower cap. Tatum for days. Tatum for days. Tatum for days. All right, guys, we gotta give this away because I gotta build my DraftKings lineups. Do me a favor, if you're not in the Discord, I'm gonna drop a link right now. Join the Discord. We've been firing on all cylinders with Sorare. Been having a good time with it. I hope you guys are enjoying it. Would love to hear your feedback on stuff. If they're again, check out the show we did with John Nellis this morning. He's awesome. If you guys have feedback on the content, the type of so rare stuff you'd like to see, would love to hear back from you because I want to continue making this fun for y'all. I hope you guys like the Live Before Lock show. Valentino says, should I go Zubats or Miles Turner? Dude, again, I think Miles Turner could sit at any time. At any time. So do me if I would go Zubats. I would lean Zubats. We are last call spinning 2 times. 1 time for a Paul Reed limited card. The second time is for a subscription to Momentum Labs, which is the projections we were just using. You get a 3-month subscription. The first spin is going to be the sub. The second spin is going to be the card. You're going to do me a favor. DM me at Mike Zakarian or in the Discord that I just sent you a link to. Make sure you're following me on Twitter at Mike Zakarian, all that stuff. I think that's it. I think we did it. Come back Sunday for some football talk with me and John Jackson. Otherwise, I will see you guys back here on Monday for just too much fucking content. And then Badavan, SGA, the best player in the NBA. Sing it from the rooftops, baby. We love our Shay. Here we go. This is for the Momentum Labs 3-month subscription. Shout out Momentum Labs for not only sponsoring the show, but giving shit away. We love to see it. It's going to Daniel Lopes. Daniel Lopes. Ship it. Good win for Daniel Lopes. Here we go. Next spin right here, right now. Also, shout out Nicolo. I saw your chat earlier saying it was the first time you've been here in a while to see a live show. Pumped you're here, my man. Pumped you're here. All right, here we go. This is for the Paul Reed. Philly's finest, Paul fucking Reed, dude. Here we go. Who's it going to be? Who's it gonna be? Let's go. It's going to Coach Star Combs from Arizona. Boots on the ground in Phoenix telling us campaign is out and it might be Landry Shamet Day. Shout out Coach Star Combs. Shoot me a DM, guys. Listen, appreciate y'all being here. Hope you guys have a great weekend. Make sure you just stick around for some more content. We will be back